what a day. We're lucky to have survived. There was a shooting in a subway station. This morning on the train sort of screeched to a halt just before it got to the station. And we all had to sort of evacuate the train. And the driver said that there'd been an incident, but it turned out that somebody had fallen on the tracks and been hit by a train. And we saw the firemen and the paramedics and stuff, and they looked a bit not very optimistic kind of thing. And I asked the copper, is the person all right? And he just shook his head. Anyway, the train line was closed for ages, and it's been chaos in Brooklyn today. And we had to get a different train. Coming home on the train just now, I just Googled what happened, and it turns out it was an 11-year-old boy making a YouTube video, subway surfing. He was standing on top of the train. He wasn't looking where he was going, and he got hit by a low beam or a sign or something. And he got knocked off the train, fell on the tracks, unconscious, and then the following train ran him over and chopped him up. We're dead, obviously. Yeah. So, we have this disaster tourism sort of theme with our trips, like volcanoes, forest fires. Oh yeah, you got hospitalised once. What else? Oh yeah, we had the bus crash in Egypt, and when we were in Morocco, we were sitting eating in a restaurant, and somebody fell out of a high building and splatted on the pavement right next to us. So we hadn't had our disaster this trip yet, but that was it. So yes, the tradition continues, sadly. Stupid boy. Anyway, we bought loads of beer and we're going to have a drink and chill. Hello, my name is Andy. I am the Brit in Hungary.
Hello, my name is Kitty. I'm the Hungarian in Hungary.
And today, we is in Paris. Well, after all that massively overpriced food, we're going to go and have a hot dog and a coffee. Yeah, hot dog. You going to try it then?
I need my glasses to see because I'm not eating. Hot dog.
Good. Right, so hot dogs. I've heard a couple of stories about where the name comes from. The first one, there was a cruel myth about the German migrants when they first came in, because obviously sausage is a German thing. And they used to think that the Germans used dog meat in the sausages. Okay, so that's one theory. The other theory is that they... again, the Germans made lots of different sausages, and there was a really special long thin one called a Dachshund sausage because it looked like the dog. And apparently there was a cartoonist, an artist, was at a baseball game or something, and he saw like a street vendor selling one of these things, and he didn't know how to spell Dachshund, like Dachshund sausage, so he just called it a dog. So like hot dog. Believe what you want. we've heard there's a top dodge, Pier 57, the market. You can apparently you can get onto the roof, and it's like a free observation deck. So we're going to go and give it a bash. Well, that worked out pretty well. That's the Little Island Park. We're going to go down there in a minute. Our last stop of the day, probably. You just can't imagine what it was like to be stood somewhere like this on September the 11th and just to watch all that sort of horror going on over there. Yeah, okay, yeah, it really puts it in perspective, actually. So this is a cool spot if you're an aviation geek like me. This is where Captain Sullenberg had ditched his A320 a few years ago when the engines failed. He, well, yeah, LaGuardia Airport, where he took off from, is kind of that way. And he took off to the north, got to about there somewhere, and then he hit the birds and destroyed both engines. He carried on north for a while, trying to restart the engines, then gave up. And then he turned south and followed the Hudson. And Teterboro Airport, air traffic control offered him Teterboro Airport, which is just there to land on, an emergency landing, and he declined. You know, famously he said, unable. We're going to be in the Hudson. And so yeah, he flew down the river. Just behind that building there is the George Washington Bridge, and he flew really well. Actually, he flew around the George Washington Bridge. He was so low, and then he ditched it in the water. About, you can see where that cruise ship is there. He crashed it about there somewhere, and it drifted in the current. It drifted all the way down here, and it was here somewhere on one of these piers where they actually tied it up, you know, to the side to stop it sinking. But incredible bit of flying. But for me, the incredible part of it is the icy cool decision making that day. It's just legendary. Yeah, it's an incredible story, an incredible piece of airmanship. Yeah, top dude, top dude. So yeah, just chilling on the porch with some very strange American beer. It's very strong, actually, but very good. Yeah, I had if you've ever watched like my videos, you know that I'm a Carl Sagan fan. Like, Carl Sagan was my boyhood hero. And I'm kind of on his home turf here in Brooklyn, because he was like born and raised in Brooklyn. And I feel a bit closer to the man. I had this mad idea. I thought because he was such a passionate New Yorker, he was buried here, and I would love to go and see his grave. And I googled it, and he does indeed lie in New York State. But being America, I got no idea how big New York State is, and his grave is right up in the north near Niagara Falls. And I thought, well, how far can that be? And it's a 10-hour train ride. So like, I'm really sorry, Carl. I would really love to have gone and seen you, but I just logistically I can't do it. So sorry. Yeah, but that was my plan anyway. But oh, one day. Finally made it to the beach. I've been wanting to come down here for days, but we never kind of got around to it. So today, yeah, we're going home today. The flight, we've got to be at JFK for about 5 o'clock. The flight's at 8, but it's easy. Yeah, we can get there most of the way on the subway again. Yeah, there's just a few things to tick off. We're going to go to the Chrysler building. Bryant Park apparently is quite nice. And then Grand Central Station. And from there we can get on the tube to the airport. So and we're having to carry the bags today with all the stuff in, so we don't want to walk too far. Really. So that's it. So goodbye, Coney Island. that then? Here we go. Death or glory on a Boeing 777 this time. Hope we don't crash.